Hey everyone, happy Monday. Come on in. Happy Brand Partner Monday. Stuff on my computer. One second. Daughter's cleaning up from dinner. I thought it was the dog getting up on the counter. Dog mom. Come on in. I'm putting some Valor on. What are you guys putting on? Put it in the chats what oils you're using tonight. Let me see what you guys are putting on. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions tonight. So be prepared to type, because I want to get a feel for where you're at for hosting classes and maybe ideas that you have. So Valor is what I'm using tonight. Melanie Dragon Time. Could have doused my teenager in that today. I should have. Maybe I should make a spray and just because God forbid I would actually put that on her. She would allow me to. Valor also awesome. Brain power. Ooh, good one. I have that in the homeschool box. I need to like get that one out. Oh, and magnify your purpose. You all have a purpose, and they're stirring in you. That's why you're here tonight. You want to know, how do you host a class? Ooh, grounding, Tammy. That's a good one too. You guys are pulling out some amazing oils. All right. Well, I'm just going to get started, and if anyone joins in, I'll just let them in. So I'll just kind of be making note of people that are trying to get into the class. If you have someone that's trying to get in, just message me. I have my phone right here. All right. My name is Sarah Stutzman. Welcome to our Brand Partner Monday night call. These are our community calls that we do every Monday night, except for holidays. So let's make note, next Monday is a holiday. It is 4th of July, and most people are going to be out watching fireworks or being with family or maybe preparing for Tuesday. So no call next Monday, but these are regularly scheduled Monday night calls, and be on the lookout for July. July is going to be all about just going back to the basics, going back to our roots, how to use our oils, application, like how do we apply these oils? How do we use them? I have had so many people ask me, but how, Sarah? How? Oilers that have been oiling for over 8 years, but how do I use that oil? And I'm like, let's move past diffusing and let's use these oils for intention and purpose. So that'll be July's focus. But tonight's focus is all about how do I host a oils class, right? So I'm a platinum brand partner, and I've been with Young Living for 7+ years. We started in October. So in October, it'll be 8 years. And we started because of my daughter. My youngest daughter just wouldn't sleep, and I had been using oil since I was in high school. And when I was handed lavender, Young Living's lavender, pure therapeutic grade lavender, I was like, what is this? This does not smell like the lavender I have. I put it on her feet and she slept. I was like, where have these been my entire life? I had oil books as like a teenager. I had homeopathy books. Like I was just always intrigued. And I was like, where have these oils been? And so Young Living was founded in 1994. I mean, that's when the company was founded. I mean, Gary Young was doing his research way before that and his own healing and his journey. And that's about the same time I got started using oils. And I'm like, where have they been? So immediately when I found healing, I wanted to teach people. I wanted to tell them. And I looked at the compensation plan and I said to my husband, what if I wouldn't have to go back to teaching? I was a teacher, elementary ed teacher. And we decided that I would stay home and be with the girls until they all went to school. Well, plans change. Now we're homeschooling. And so I'm thankful that I said yes almost 8 years ago. And we just started teaching around the dining room table. I had the desire to teach others. It was just something that like, I love teaching. I'm a teacher. And so you may have that same stirring in you that you just want to teach people, you want to tell people, you want to tell them your story, you want to tell others stories, and you want to help people heal. And so what is it that is drawing you to want to host classes? What is it that is stirring within you? And I guess it's a double question. Have you hosted classes before? If not, if that's a no, what's holding you back? What is stopping you? Go ahead and take some time to comment. Or we're a small group. You can unchat. You can unmute yourself too if you want to. If that's easier than typing. What is drawing you to teach a class? Okay, Melody said you have hosted before, but haven't in a while. Okay, we're going to touch on that tonight. Okay. Melanie, you're holding yourself back. Don't we get in our way sometimes? I get in my way all the time, thinking we don't know enough. But you know what? You were here Friday night and you empowered and equipped people. And so we're going to talk about that tonight too. Teaching with others, doing this together. We don't have to be alone in this. Melody, you're gearing up to do one this summer. Great, awesome. I got some ideas for you, and I'm sure you have your own idea, but we'll talk through that. We always think we don't know enough, but you don't have to know everything. Stories are where it's at. Stories, facts tell, right? But when someone starts telling a story, we're engaged, right? We connect with a story. So all you have to do is gather stories. And I'm sure you have your own stories. You have stories from family members. You have stories from friends. Gather stories. Angela, you want to host? You're making a list of people who are interested in Friday night. Oh, right, because you're a distance away. Okay, awesome. Way to go, making that list, and then you can follow up with them. Yes, you can do this. I hear that all the time. I don't know enough. I don't think I know enough. Guys, I started the month I got my kid, and I verbally vomited on everyone because I was like that geek that like printed out all kinds of stuff. I didn't know anything. I just went to Google and went to my reference book. Where is it? You know, the little pocket reference. This one. My pages are like falling apart. It's all like, it is well loved. If you started, you know, back in the day, you probably have this little blue pocket reference. And I just made notes upon notes. I think I scared people away. I don't think I had anyone that even enrolled, did I? No, but I think I scared people away. So key number one, okay? Point number one, keep it light, keep it educational, keep it fun, okay? Oh, Tammy, having difficulty people coming. We're going to talk about that tonight too. Denise, having not hearing. Can you hear me? Or is it?
Yeah, I realize that I love having not hearing parties. And I just had one recently, and 3 of the people were members and 1 was a non-member. And the members, like, they were educated, they learned more, and they were telling their story. And that person signed up. A couple of days later, she had to leave at that time, but we made an appointment and she signed up. So it doesn't matter how many people, because we all, like I said, we don't know everything. So we're always learning and educating each other.
Yeah. And Melanie and Denise and Angela and Janelle, you were at the class on Friday night. And I've been doing this for almost 8 years, right? And I'm learning things from people. I'm sure you've learned things from people as well. And so it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. Pack your place full of members and non-members. It doesn't matter if they're cross-line. It doesn't matter if they're, non-members. We want non-members, right? It doesn't matter if, that cross-line brings a one of their people. It doesn't matter. The more people that you can get into that room, the more stories are shared, right? The more learning that can happen. And if you have members and you have a cross-line friend that's sharing stories, everyone's going to benefit and everyone's going to learn and everyone's knowledge bank is going to grow. So yeah, I struggled with that at the beginning of like, do I just invite my team? What do I do? And some things are, team exclusive, but a lot of things it's like, just come and learn, right? Like these Monday night calls, they are open to anyone that wants to learn. And we don't want to feel like we're selling, right? And I was thinking about this today. There is always a product involved, no matter what you are talking about. I teach homesteading classes. There is always a product involved. Whether I have an income coming in from it, like oh my gosh, my book, sorry. Everyone left or inside. They went running outside. So I'm always sharing a health food store, like a flower that I love. I'm always sharing, vessels and tools and things. There's always a product involved, right? And nowadays we can have, what are they called? Not referral link. Help me out. We can have a link. Let's just say that. There's always links for all kinds of things. And we can gain income from those links, right? So it's easy to be affiliate. I just signed up for a cheese making course from another homesteader. And I was sharing her course and she's like, do you have an affiliate link? You can get an affiliate link and get this off and this off. And I was like, well, no, I don't want to be an affiliate for all the things, right? So choose what you want to share, right? And just be like intentional with that and go full force with it. Because it gets kind of shady not shady, but it gets confusing when you have affiliate links all over the place for your members, right? Or for customers. So just think of that, Angela. There's always a product involved. We're always selling something. We're selling our kids on eating broccoli, right? We're always selling something. So number one, keep it light, keep it educational and fun. So why do you want to teach? What is stirring in you? Do you want to build community? So here's some things. Do you want to build community? Do you just want to have fun? Like, is it fun for you to gather people together? Is it in your nature just to be a party planner? Like the fun aspect. Do you truly want to equip people with resources and tools going into the future? Like Friday night, we had a first aid class. Do you want to teach them how to care for their wellness, their immune system? Do you want to build an income? Or do you want to do all of them? Like, what is drawing you to want to host a class? You can share in the comments. Melody said all the things. Anyone else? You're typing. And I will say that if if you really do want to build an income, I know especially now in the time we're living in, right? My husband's working a little more extra overtime. We're trying to make up for the inflation, the rising gas prices, right? We're trying every which way, cutting out things that aren't necessary, not making as many trips this summer, hunkering down, and looking for another way to make an income. The income is going to come when you serve people, when you show up and you serve. Okay. So let's see what you guys said. All the things. You want to build community, Angela. You want people to learn better ways to care for themselves. The products can make a difference and you want others to experience what you have. Yes, yes, yes. And then build an income from it. And the income's going to come when you show up and you serve. And that service, that servant's heart is going to come out. That's going to trump the selling aspect. If you're going into this thinking, I want to make an income, I need $200 a month, I need to do this, I need this prospect, I need to make this list, I need to invite this many people, I need this many people to show up at class, that's going to come through, and that is going to come through as selling, and that's going to come through as people read that. They're going to see you as needy, like, oh, what does she really want, right? And so but if you show up as a servant and you show up as like just genuinely caring, that right there, that's going to build the income. The income will come later, right? If you truly show up and care for people. This is a people's business. We got to show up and care for people, and they got to be seen, heard, loved, and valued. And a lot of times these days, people are not. They're not. Customer service is right. So if we can listen to people and hear their needs, then when we hear their needs, then we can come to them with a solution, and we can just say, I don't know if this, if this sounds like something you may need, but I know it has helped me in a time of great need. Here's this bottle of lavender. Take it home with you. This is if you really know this person, right? Even if you don't, like, here's this bottle of lavender. Take it home with you, and I want you to try it tonight at bedtime. See if you sleep better. Try it a few nights. Rub it on your feet. Put it on the back of your neck. Inhale it. Try it a couple nights and see if you sleep better. Just giving your oils, right? And say, give it back to me and let me know what you think in a couple days. Janelle, you want to equip others and help others live a better, healthy life. Community. Yes, Angela, missing the community. We are building community, and this is what people want. People want community. I've had so many people ask me how I have started folk school, how I have started homesteading classes. And honestly, it started with Young Living. I had the dream to teach canning classes. I had the dream to teach homesteading classes. But when I found oils, it was a gateway into hosting classes in my home and inviting people in. And then inviting them into a lifestyle. It's kind of like, it is a gateway. But for a lot of people, oils are a gateway into, thermography, Angela, different modalities of healing. And we can come to each other in this community and we can say, hey, does anyone know a good massage therapist? Does anyone know a good chiropractor? I haven't been, but I want to try one, or something, acupuncture maybe. And this is it's a safe, easy way into a different lifestyle. So we can invite people in, and we can teach on things. And that's on Monday nights. We teach on more than just oils, right? So I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm getting distracted, but okay. So summer is still young. Pull out your calendar if you have it. For many of you, it's probably your phone, right? I want you to look at July, and maybe not tonight, but usually what I do when I'm planning my classes, I look at 3 months ahead of time. So right now, for me, my classes for summer are planned. So now I'm thinking ahead for fall. So I go in seasons, right? And maybe you don't want to host one class a month. Maybe you want to do it quarterly. Whatever you choose to do, commit. Make a date. I know it's so easy to look at our calendar and it's already full, right? I mean, like, well, I don't know if Monday night's good for Sally. She has, bingo. And I don't know, Wednesday night, I know you know, Johnny and Josie, they have church, and, you know, we can look at everyone else's calendar, right? Look at your calendar, commit, plan a date. Make sure it is at least 2 weeks in advance. 1 month in advance is the best. People aren't going to sign up right away. They wait till the very last minute to sign up, but they like to know their options. They might have it pencil marked in their calendar with a question mark. How many of you do this? I do, right? We put all the options down for the weekend because our time is so valuable, and we are more protective of our time and our finances after COVID, right? We kind of got really comfortable behind the screen. And then when things come at us, we got really used to that, like really comfort, quiet space of our home. And then when things come at us, we get a little like, oh my gosh, I don't want to fill up my schedule. So 2 weeks to a month in advance, commit, make a date. If you want to build an income, I don't know where you're at. If you want to make a lot, you know, make sure you're really consistent, once a month, twice a month, having in-person classes. If you just want to do this as like an extra income, you know, on the side, then maybe it's quarterly, maybe it's every other month. Okay, you have to know what your time allows, what your goals for hosting classes are. So consistency, whether you're doing this monthly, whether you're doing this quarterly or every other month, make sure it's consistent and make sure your people know, like, hey, I host a class every single month. Make sure that you're following my Instagram, make sure you're on my email list. Do you want to know when the next class is? Just, I'll text it to you. Just make sure that you're consistent and your people know that this is every month, quarterly. Because I always liked the analogy, like if you find a really great pizza shop and the pizza is like stellar and you're so excited, this just happened to me and I'm so distraught. And it's so good. And you keep going and they're open and their, you know, service is amazing. And then you go one Friday night and they're not open. And you're like, what the heck? Okay. So then you go back the next Friday and they're open. And then you go the next Friday and they're not open. Like, and they're so wishy-washy that you don't know like what's going on. You're not going to continue to go to that business, right? You're going to find something else that's more consistent and that meets your needs. Okay. You're going to show up, you know, you're going to go to the place that's showing up. So be consistent. Keep inviting. One of you said, I think it was Tammy, the people that aren't showing up, right? So it comes to consistency, right? Comes down to consistency, letting people know that, hey, I have a class. When I first started, our classes were I think it was like the first Thursday of every month. So it was a given that the first Thursday of the month, there was always a class in the evening. So let your people know that. And you have to commit to that on your calendar too. Because things come up on a Thursday night, right? And so commit that every first Thursday is your class, or, you know, however you want to make it, and get that ball rolling. It takes a while and you're going to have no shows. I've had so many no shows, or you're going to have people that are going to come and it's just like one person. And I'd be bawling and I'm like, there's only one person coming, and you know, the time that you put into it and all the, you know, the food, the, you know, the planning, kicking everyone out of the house for one person. And my husband would look me in the face and he'd be like, Sarah, that is one person that wants to be here, that wants to learn, that is eager. And I'd have, you know, it was either a member that would come and they would feel so filled up at the end of the night. Remember, it's not about you, it's that person that is coming. No, Melody, I didn't teach the same thing every Thursday. It would be something different. You know, and I would rotate. We were just talking about this. My husband's like, you had these classes, you had this class. And I was like, I did not. Like I don't know. I feel like that beginning was such a blur, and I have to think about what did I do at the beginning, but it was that consistency. So a lot of times it was seasonal, Melody. So, and I still do things seasonal and cyclical. So like in the fall, I would do some toxin-free home cleaning. A lot of things revolved around the starter kit. So I would try to do a lot of different things around the starter kit, and you can host so many classes around that starter kit. DIY cleaning, immune support, digestive support, respiratory inhalers and vapor rubs and all the things. So get a piece of paper and make a list. But we're talking about summer, right? The summer is still young. You have July and you have August. You can plan a class for the end of July. You can plan a class for the end of August. Both are going to look a little bit different. People are in summertime mode right now. So July, you can still do summertime things. August, come the end of August, people are thinking about, what is it? Unmute yourself and tell me. Janelle, you already got it. August, back to school, right? Back to school, immune support, calming oils, all the things, right? So those two classes are completely different. So the summer is still young. Keep inviting, keep advertising, personally invite. I was just at the library the other day. I dropped my kids off at Bible camp and I went and sat at the library and their story time was closed. The instructor was sick and all these mamas are pouring in the door with their little toddlers, and the librarian was going, I'm so sorry, I posted it on Facebook, but we don't have story time. And she kept saying it. I posted it on Facebook. I posted it on Facebook. I guess no one really sees Facebook. And I'm going, ding, 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 ding. No one sees Facebook. And I'm like, oh man, she needs to have like an email list and a text. You know, she needs to have all these mamas' numbers so that she could text them. So personally reaching out is going to make people feel special too. Hey, I was really thinking about you and I think you would really enjoy this mama's night out. You know, you don't have to bring anything, just come gather around the table. Maybe it's a potluck. Just say, hey, you know, bring something really simple. Pick something up at Aldi. You don't have to make anything, just come. You know, let's make it simple. We're going to make some bracelets tonight. We're going to have some oils to smell. We're going to make some Ningxia red drinks that I always talk about, and I want to fill you up, you know, whatever it is, just personally invite them. But then again, there's always room for Facebook and Instagram too, but personal invites are important. So let's think about some ideas. Okay. Here's where I start. I look at the month. I'm like, okay, July is still young. What are some fun ideas? What are some fun ideas that I could do in July to uplift my team, to uplift mamas, to uplift, you know, you have to know your audience too. So here's what I'm thinking. Gardening and oils, right? You can still do gardening and oils. You have fall gardens that are coming in. Now is the time, you know, end of July is the time to plant your fall garden. So maybe you're teaching, if you love gardening, you can teach about, you know, planting your fall garden and garlic, planting garlic, and what are some natural pest deterrents. And maybe you don't even teach about oils, but you pass around citronella because there's bugs. I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be specifically oils. If you have oils out, Ningxia out, you know, my homestead classes aren't necessarily oils related, but I may be talking about the produce, you know, wash. I'll have my diffuser going. So I have specific oil classes, and then in my non-oil classes, I'm always teaching, you know, I'm always using the oils, and they're always around. And people respect that because then you're multifaceted. You're not just teaching oils, but you're teaching the entire lifestyle. So what drives you? What are the things that you love to talk about, that you're passionate about? What are some of the skills that you have? Think on those, okay? And hone in on those skills. So again, like a mom's night out, rollers, bracelets, potluck, maybe you provide the meal, whatever it is. I went to a homeschool meetup. I didn't know anyone. I was invited by a friend. She's like, hey, come to this house. It's open for anyone. Just bring something and just come. We're just going to come gather as homeschool moms. I was craving community, and my introverted self was like, I don't know. And I actually Googled the address and I looked at the home and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my dream homestead. I'm going. Like, I was like, I was flabbergasted. The house was amazing. And I sat around the table with all these mamas and we just brought a potluck meal and we just talked about homeschool stuff. But like people are craving community more than anything, right? And so just inviting people around your table with other women, like-mindedness, that common ground, and then they meet friends. Maybe you make dips and dressings at the end of July. Maybe you do a first aid class, okay? And you know, the cool thing about inviting people in and around the table, we can be non-compliant around the table. We were sharing some pretty non-compliant things on Friday night, things we couldn't share on Facebook and Instagram, but we were equipping people with knowledge that they need, you know, they need for this future. Maybe it's preteens. Maybe if you're a mom of teenage daughters and you have other moms, like invite them in with their teenage daughters and make fun perfume and rollers. If you have ideas, put them in the chat because you all have ideas too. Obviously toxin-free cleaning, a mom's play date, making Play-Doh. I just saw someone was doing a slip, slide, and sniff. They're like, hey, bring all your kids. We're gonna have a big slip and slide. We're gonna make Ningxia mocktails and smell oils. I was like, that's amazing. It was free. It's completely free. They bring their kids. They let their kids play, have a slip and slide. Mamas get to sip Ningxia cocktails or Ningxia mocktails and sniff oils. It's all about bringing people together. I'm thinking about doing one I am planning on doing one in July with Shibori. Shibori is indigo tie-dye. Have you all heard of it? I think Melody, you have, but it's the most coolest thing. If you look it up on Amazon, Shibori. Let me see if I can even, or just plug in indigo dye. But you mix this powder together and it's green. You dip in your white cotton tea towels or whatever you're dipping, and it's actually green. And when it comes out, it oxidizes with the air and it turns blue, like this deep, dark blue. Indigo is actually a flower. Now this probably is a chemical dye, but it's fun, you know, maybe make tea towels and hand soap, right? That could be an August thing. Scrubbing your hands, getting your homes cozy. You all with me? So now let's talk about the nitty gritty. If you guys have any more ideas for classes, maybe your wheels are spinning, just think fun. Think fun. Remember, our time is very valuable. People's time is valuable. So if you're just going to say, hey, come to my oils 101 class, you have to make it like exciting, something that they want to learn to equip them for the future, but also have fun. You have to like blend these two things together and then get the community in there. And so you have to listen and know your people. What do they need, right? What are they wanting? And your people are your friends right now, your family, okay? And then once that circle grows, then you can think about your community, maybe on Instagram that you serve. What are people needing right now? You know, this whole sourdough craze went crazy, right? And people were wanting to learn sourdough. So then you teach sourdough. Like, what are people wanting to learn? So listen for that. Oh yes, Melanie, citronella beeswax candles, bug bite relief, and a DIY bug repellent. Wreaths and dream catchers, super fun. That would be fun. Yeah, like an August one, getting people think nestling in like late August, September. You might get their homes cozy. That would be fun. I would do like wreaths separate, like a fall one, and then dream catchers would be a fun August one because it's still summery and kind of that boho vibe. Yeah, super fun. And then maybe even like do a dream catcher roller. I don't know, like the dream catcher oil roller. Yeah, there's so many fun ideas that you could do and you can run with. And again, like that would definitely be more of like bringing community in and making people feel welcome. and just relaxed. So many mamas are stressed to the max. So what do we do then? So we plan a date. Okay, you commit, you plan your date 2 weeks or more. I suggest more because that also gives you more time and you don't feel rushed. We're busy people, commit. And then I want you to think about preparing your cost. What is it going to cost you? Do you have a lot of these supplies on hand? Are you going to use some of the free oils that you got from Young Living? Like, do you have a stash that you're like, I really need to get rid of some of these and I'm going to use these up. Prepare your cost. So what I like to do, if I do have to buy oils, if I'm not using my stash, even if I am using my stash, those were free oils, but yet if someone had to buy them, that would be a lot of money, right? So I like to keep it reasonable for people, but also, put a cost to it, because when there's a cost, people value that. If it's free, a lot of times people are like, well, it's free, so it probably doesn't have much value. It's just weird how our brains work. You can divide the cost of the bottle, divide it by so a 15 ml bottle has 250 drops. So if it's $25, you take 250 divided by 25 and you get the cost per drop, if you want to be that technical. I am not much of a math person, and so I'm just like, I guesstimate, and normally I fall short, and then I don't charge enough for a class, so you have to know. So prepare your cost. So is that food, or is people bringing food, paper products, bottles? Think about all of those things. That's why giving yourself a month in advance really helps you not feel so rushed, okay? And then set up how you want them to register. At first, I was like, hey, just mark that you're coming on Facebook, and then I'd have no one show up. Pay at the door. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. People have to commit and they have to pay. And a lot of times they'll be like, there's no refund. You can I'll make all your things and then you can pick them up at my door. Okay. So I know it sounds harsh, but people have to make a commitment. Or do you want them to just PayPal you or Venmo? Like, hey, PayPal me and Venmo. What I found is I used Eventbrite for the longest time. Eventbrite just takes a fee. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe like 2%, a little over 2%. Right, Denise? Yeah, I haven't used Eventbrite for a little while. So I set everything up on my website, and that was a long time. Like, if you're just starting out, you don't need a website. But PayPal, like, hey, PayPal me. I only have 8 spots left. Put a cap on it. Put a cap on it. That way, when you do all your ordering of your bottles, you know exactly what to order. And then if you have a few extra left, like say 6 people come and you have 2, things left, then you can do a giveaway, or you can bless someone on your team. You can do like a giveaway in your team. Those things will always go to use. Any questions so far? So plan the date, prepare the cost, set up the registration, the way you want them to register. We have a lot more to go. So anything on those topics? Once you do all that, then invite. Did I say invite? Invite. Personal invite, Facebook, make a post, put it in your group, ask your friends to invite. Invite. You can be creative with it. So Friday night we did hey, the cost is $10, but that includes a friend. Bring a friend. That worked beautiful. It was sold out. Everyone, I think almost everyone brought a guest. And so when you do that, then you're inviting them in to invite, like that their friend doesn't have to get a ticket. Like, hey, come with me. I just bought this ticket for this event. Like, it's going to be a fun evening. Come with me. So you can do it that way. You can do like, hey, if you order before this date, you get it at a sale price. So invite, right? You'll also want to order your supplies ASAP because things take a lot longer with shipping, even Amazon Prime. You know, sometimes things get back ordered. And so order your supplies right away. Don't rely on the 2-day shipping from Amazon. Order your oils from Young Living. Make sure you have what you need. The week before, invite. Continuing to invite, personally inviting. Then get your grocery list together. If you're making food, make sure you have a day mapped out that is just making food. Paper products, right? Do you have all the supplies that you need? That's why I say give yourself a month when you're planning a class. Okay, these things take time. You know, we go to events and we go to these things and they're just amazing. And I love going to events. But when you know what goes on behind the event, it's a lot, but it's so much fun. And I want you to have fun with it. Like planning events is so much fun, right? It comes down to the detail. It comes down to the fun of like knowing that your guests are going to arrive and they're going to be filled up. They're going to feel loved. They're going to be seen. They are going to be pampered, right? And so that's ultimately what you want to do when you invite people in. And then the day of the event, just breathe, get those last minute things together. Making sure you're conversing with your guests, asking questions, gathering their needs. If you have to keep a pen or like your phone with you to make little notes, please do that. This is where we get, it's kind of like market research. Talk to your guests. Make sure maybe you have an email list that they can connect with you or you can connect with them. Making sure they know how to connect with you, you know how to connect with them. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it a text that you like to send out? Is it an email that you send out? How are they going to know about any more classes, right? So after class, following up with a thank you goes a really long way. I try to do this as much as I can, just following up and saying thank you. You can do this personally, you can do this through email, however, you want to. So the summer is still young. You can have so much fun around the table. I was actually thinking, I love Pinterest. Go to Pinterest and you can let your creative mind go crazy. But I was like, ooh, it'd be fun to have like one of those dinner parties where you all sit on rugs on like the low tables. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they use like pallets on, I don't know, but you sit like crisscross, it's like Indian style, and you have a dinner party under twinkly lights. I don't know. Planning classes is fun. And so if you love that, then this is going to fuel you. If this overwhelms you, then maybe you just gather your friends around the table for coffee and tea. Okay. Or obviously Young Living tea, right? Maybe it's more in the summer, in the winter time, or Ningxia mocktails and, and you just make roller bottles. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be formal. So I guess that's the question. Maybe I have another question for you. And you can unmute yourself to answer these because we're at the end now. Are you more of a formal where you have to have all the details planned? Or do you like more casual? Because you can meet mamas at the playground and have a play date. You can go for a hike and maybe if you know, like here's another idea. If you know plants, like how to forage for wild plants, or you have some friends that want to learn, you take a foraging book and you just learn together, but you're taking your citronella and your bug spray and some of your outdoor things. So you can make it formal, you can make it casual. Like, what are you feeling right now? How would you like to host a class this summer? You can unmute yourself too. Anyone? And as you're typing, if you're typing. Another idea for August is elderberry syrup. How to make elderberry syrup. Because with that, you can infuse the oils into the elderberry syrup. You can make jacked up honey along with that, which is thieves, lemon, peppermint, orange, oregano, you know, something like that. And you can do it formal where you're inviting and you have people pay like through Venmo, through Eventbrite, or you can just invite a few friends over and you can keep it super informal. Yep. Angela, you want to keep it casual? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And maybe, you know, maybe at first, like the informal is more meeting people's needs, whereas the formal is more of a class setting and seems salesy in a way. But yet, I think our community, like I think our culture now is going towards classes. They're looking for classes because people want to learn. And so classes are the way it is. Okay, so casual. A lot of you want to keep it casual. Yeah. And so think about how you want to run a class. Think about some ideas that you have. Even with the casual, it's important to have some of the details hashed out, you know. But then again, just meeting someone for coffee isn't, you know, is great too. You know, out and about, you know, so many one-on-ones happen. And that's where a lot of needs can be met. So yeah. So Denise, you're having an event on the 22nd. Oh yes, you're having a summer social. And yours is, I love this, Denise. You're having a potluck and it's for your team, right? And for your team to bring, you know, maybe non-members, bring an oil you don't know how to use. How genius is that? How many of us have oils that we don't know how to use? I just got petitgrain because it came up on my Zydo and I was like, petitgrain, oh my word. I just put it on. I don't know how to use it. I'm just putting it on. So yeah, bring an oil that you don't know how to use. And then that's where the conversation starts and it's free. They just have to say, hey, I'm coming. They're bringing a potluck and it's all oil infused food that they're bringing. Melody, a first aid class. Yes. And that's where, okay. So I'm going to just go here because I think we stopped. I said I was going to go here. Invite your friends to teach with you. So if you have a group of girls that you're like, that are oilers and they love community and they want to do this too, but they're not sure and they're getting hung up that they don't know enough, you know, all the things, do it together. Do it together. So say, hey, let's get it together and let's teach a first aid class. So what we did for the first aid class, we were going to go by oils, but then Dominique Prue, who's part of our community, she was like, let's do it by body system. And Melissa and I kind of thought about that too at first, but then like just the details of such a big event like that were a little overwhelming and we're like, ah, but equip people with body systems, Melody, if you're going to do the first aid class. So when people get a scrape, they think skin. And when they think skin, they have to think what oil supports the skin and break down the body systems, right? So we did skin, digestion, respiratory. I think we had 8 stations and you don't have to go that in depth. Maybe you do first aid part 1, then maybe you do first aid part 2. If you have 3 people that you know can teach and you all set up a different station and then do it that way. So another fun class that I always teach with someone is oils in the bedroom because that's a little intimidating, and having someone that can joke and laugh and have fun with it. Karen Bruno is amazing at that. We would teach together and it just, she's really fun. I'm more serious and it just blended well. So get someone that can teach with you and do an event together. You don't have to do it by yourself. And this is something, you know, look to the person that enrolled you and ask them, say, hey, can we teach a class together? I'm not quite sure how to do this. I'm thinking of some ideas, but I don't know where to start. Can you guide me or would you come teach with me? Okay. And so ask. Your enroller is probably going to be like, yes, I will come do this with you, right? I will come teach with you. So go ahead and ask that person. That's why we're here. We want to help equip you. Any other questions? I was hoping this would be a 30-minute class. I'm trying to break these down into 30 minutes. I feel like there's so much information. So July, I really want to do like a mini Monday because I know our time is really precious and valuable, especially in the summertime. So really trying to get it down to 30 minutes. But any questions before we end for this evening? Oh, Melody, you don't have that up. I'm sure you have to have an upline somewhere. You can connect with me and we can find your upline. We can find your upline. Yeah. Or you have friends that'll just jump in. I know Melissa Stoltzfus, our diamond upline. She was just muddling through. She didn't, her and the person that enrolled her, they had no guidance and they were just muddling through and they were learning together. And she's diamond now. So they did it together. Grab some of your girls and teach, but we can find your upline. All right. You guys have an amazing night. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. If you have more questions on hosting a class, please reach out. I hope this was helpful for you tonight. And I will post this on YouTube if you want to rewatch this or send it to someone else. All right. Take care, guys.